Yay. Okay. Hi. Happy Wednesday. Jen Powder here. Welcome to all of our new members. I'm super excited that you're here. I always am. And today I want to answer a really, really good question. I'm just doing what I do here and my phone just died out, but I'm going to grab, there we go. So a question came in that, she asked how long, she'd read, became mindful through the Stop Sabotaging book I wrote. This woman's now mindful of her self-sabotaging habits, and that's kind of a game changer. Why? Because you cannot change what you're not aware of. This is huge. Okay, so you can't be hard on yourself if you didn't know that you had a problem and you weren't trying to solve it. Like, you can't beat yourself up for that. Well, I mean, I guess you could, but don't. It's a waste of your energy and time. So there's something about this question that I really love. It was, how long will it take to conquer and change the habit? As those habits of emotional eating are ingrained. Oh, so good. So if you're here with me, say hello in the comments. I got them open. Would love to answer your questions in real time. And Lynette, this is for you. So if anybody's ever heard, oh, it takes 21 days to change a habit. What? No, it doesn't. Maybe if it's like 21 days of perfect commitment and consistency. But the thing is we've got something called neurobiology, and we also have something called neural wiring, which means what fires together wires together. So stimulus, response, action, consequence, action, reaction, all of those things are being driven by our brain. And I'm just going to do some simple math here. So have any of you, okay, good. Hey, good morning. Hi. How many of you, let's just talk to me in the chat. How long have you maybe not knowing, how long have you been dieting? Like, or how long have you had whacked up eating habits, right? You got to take a look at that. So let's just say, we're spending 12 days or 12 hours a day awake, and we've gone through, I'm just going to do really quick math here. So 365 times 12 equals times 10 years. So let's just say if for 10 years you've been struggling with your weight, well, then you've probably spent approximately 43,800 hours engaged in all sorts of self-sabotaging habits, poor behaviors related to food, poor thought patterns that are harming you, not helping you. So this is why this idea of being able to get a quick fix is so appealing, right? Who wants to spend another 43,800 hours fixing a problem? Okay, 50 years at least. I got it. So we got to times that by another 4. So that's 175,000 hours. Like, that's a long time. Now, the good news is change can happen quickly. So it's not that we have to go through decades of trying to improve ourselves. Change can actually happen very quickly. I was on a podcast interview yesterday and I was asked, well, how long did it take you? And here was my answer. I said, I had to spend 2 solid years ingrained, enmeshed in my struggle. And it took 1 day for me to become willing to change. 1 day of deep awareness for me to go, what I am doing is not working for me. Now, granted, I had a few things under my belt. I was a coach. I had a master's degree. I knew what I was doing was harmful, but I hated the misery of living like that, and I was unwilling to tolerate it in my life. And I think that's the thing that we all need to arrive at is, are you willing to suffer and struggle with your problem and stay enmeshed with it, or are you going to be willing to take a new path, even if the new path is unfamiliar, foreign, you don't know how to do it, etc., etc. Right? I didn't know how to do it either. I had to go right back into the research and do a fresh dive into what healthy weight loss actually looked like. And so Lynette, as we take a look at changing those habits, the number one thing I say it all the time. The most important element of change is that you become willing to let go of all the ways you've always done it, because all of those ways have gotten you to this point. Why would we ever think that the same thing that got us here is going to get us to the next level of our health, our life, our happiness? It won't. It can't. It's not supposed to. The reason we have problems in our life is to grow us, not break us, right? It's like how we strengthen a muscle. You have to have a stimulus on it. It has to have some weight on it to work against. That's the same as life. It's why we have our problems, including our quote unquote weight problems. Weight is just that visible representation that we see as women about how and when and where and why and how we're maybe not taking the best care of ourselves. And I think that there's a lot of us who have tolerated living like that for a really long time. I mean, here, 50 years, right? That's a long time. And so please be gentle with yourself when and there's this thing about midlife, you know, this time in life, whether you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, where we kind of know that next chapter or that third act is coming, where our morbidity, we don't want to live unhealthy. We don't want to be on medications. We want to get to the toilet when we're 80. We want to get off the toilet. You know, that we start to become really aware that the quality of our years matters. And that quality of your years will 100% be influenced by the quality of your health, including your weight and your muscle mass. They go hand in hand. And so I think that as you're looking at this, if you want to know my personal story, I lost 35 to 40-ish pounds in about 8 months. And I was exceptionally committed, right? I was driven. Nothing got in my way. I was so tired of that one pair of pants that I could wear that I did a deep dive into transforming myself, and I did the emotional mental work at the same time. You cannot skip that part. So, you know, as you are you okay? So Lynette, I know you just got the Diet Disruption book, so I can't wait to hear any questions that you might have from that book. But if you really want to see your weight loss results become exceptional, there's 4 things that I'm going to ask you to pay deep attention to. Are you ready? Write these down. These are basics. Sometimes we just need to come back to the basics of weight loss. Number 1, prioritize your protein. This is not some woo-woo weird weight loss claim. It's just fact and it's science. Prioritize your protein. Get it in throughout the day. Know how much, get the right protein in throughout the day. 2, prioritize water. Protein or fat burns in the presence of water. You've got to prioritize getting water in. I hear also, I don't like it, it's boring, I forget. Okay, well then you've got an easy problem to solve. If you're prioritizing protein and you're going to prioritize water, you get to figure that out. And I totally know you can because you're smart, right? You're smart. Prioritize vegetables, right? This is the other thing. Most of us don't have enough vegetables. And guess what the last one is? Anybody got a clue? Prioritize your sleep. That's 4. 4 things. When you take care of those 4 things and you start to be like driven, so committed to water, vegetables, protein, and sleep, weight loss is going to become next level for you. It just does. It just does. Because most of us are sabotaging the basics of our own self-care. And then we wonder why we don't get anywhere. Good morning, and yes, the visible, yes. I know it's so funny because it's not funny, but we're so hard on ourselves, and I'm just trying to see. I can't tell all the comments sometimes. Oh shoot! Okay. We're so hard on ourselves, but for us, it's because we're in our bodies all the time. We know what it feels like. We know what it's like to have goals and to sacrifice them. We know what it's like to want something but not get it. We know what it's like to promise ourselves one thing and then break our own promises day after day after day. So this is it. If you're looking for some wins this month, and can you just give me a thumbs up or a heart? Like, declare it. If this is not hard, doing dieting is hard. Doing the deprivation, can't have, stop, start thing, that's hard. Chasing Mondays, that's hard. Protein, water, sleep, and veggies. And a lot of this, yes, of course there's mindset work. I totally get that when the house is quiet and you've got your me time, but is it really you time if you're exhausted? And when you're exhausted, you go to the kitchen, and when you're in the kitchen, you grab the cookies, and then you already have the cookies, you might as well have this? Do you see how it's like this roller coaster of insanity we can like lead ourselves on? And so this is it. Like, why don't you do an experiment with yourself and go, okay, for the next month, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to tell myself I can't have all of these things, but I'm going to add this into my life. These 4 basic principles of true self-care. I promise you, if you write down what your scale weight is today and track it every week, and you are 100% committed to sleep, water, protein, veggies, your weight will be down. And then we'll continue to do the emotional work as I get your questions, as I can help lead you to strengthening your mindset, becoming resilient, all of those things that are so important. I mean, really, I got asked another good question about resilience, and emotional resilience is being able to handle your life without turning to poor coping mechanisms. I don't know about you, but I did not have resilience modeled to me in a very healthy way. I've had to learn as an adult woman what that means, how to create it, how to do it. I've had to practice, I've had to fail, and I've had to come back and try again. So let's pick ourselves up, dust yourself off today. Doesn't matter, it's Wednesday. Let's go. Let's go. It's the 2nd of the month. We've got so much room to create powerful, positive change this month. And if you do those 4 things and then you focus on those wins, yeah, it's going to be, you'll be a different weight. And you're probably going to feel a little lighter in your, emotional weight too, because you're going to start to feel like you're successful. And really, that's one of the best feelings I think a woman gets to have, is feeling successful, feeling like you're creating the accomplishments that maybe have felt elusive to you. So let's do it. Let's do it together. I'll be back tomorrow. If you have questions on this, drop them into your comments below. We're so excited to bring to you our Women's Weight Loss Success Stories series. Oh my gosh, we're really excited to share that with you. So have a super Wednesday, everybody, and see you tomorrow morning.